But we do have to reflect on the sad news, of course, that the former England striker Frank Worthington passed away earlier this week, aged 72, after a long illness. Began his career at Huddersfield before switching to Leicester and went on to play 200 times for them, and then further went on to feature for Bolton, Birmingham, Southampton, Leeds and Sunderland. And obviously there is that famous goal that everybody talks about when he was playing for Bolton against Ipswich, where he sort of juggled the ball with his back to goal and then was able to turn and knock it into the goal. And it was a terrific goal, wasn't it? But your memories of Frank Worthington?
Well, you know, I'm always got a Casanori on somebody, haven't I? And Frank's no different.
Everybody sit down, get your warm cocoa. It's time for Casanori.
Well, I was about 22 years old, and Ron Hilliard, the goalkeeper at Gillingham, had a testimonial. And not many, only real die-hard Gillingham fans would remember Ron, but he was a great goalkeeper for Gillingham over the years. He had a testimonial, and Frank Worthington was invited to play in the game. And obviously he was a big star at that time, and, you know, he was a larger-than-life character, and he turns up at Priestfield, and I'm going to play up front with him. I'm a 22-year-old lad, you know, on my right. So I knew a lot about him. I'm, you know, being a Liverpool fan, I knew the history of him not signing for Liverpool, and it was all over, apparently, his partying lifestyle. Well, he's turned up at Gillingham, and he's got a lady on each arm. You know, walks in, bowls in. He's got a waistcoat, black leather waistcoat, black leather jeans, and he's got like a eagle sort of, you know, the American eagle, around his neck. He's got this around his neck, and he's got his long hair, and he just looked, and you could tell he had the dressing room, you know, in his palm of his hand.
I was going to say, surely everyone's in awe.
Yeah, of course they were. And he was funny. He was also very warm, you know, laughing, joking. You couldn't believe, I know it was only a testimony, but you couldn't believe he was about to play a football match. He didn't even started to get ready about 10 minutes before the kickoff, and we were going to go out. So anyway, I say hello, and I'm sort of making a bit of a name in the game as I was at that time, you know, even though it was League One football. And we go out and get to the centre circle, and we get the kick-off. And he says to me, just knock it a couple of yards in front of me. Just knock it forward. So I think no more, knock it forward. He pings it from the halfway line, straight at the goal, hits the top of the crossbar, goes over, right? And all the crowd go, oh! And he looks round to me and says, you knocked it too hard.
That's all your fault.
So I'm laughing, and I think, but what? He was just a great character. Yeah. And during the game, he kept talking to me, but he was laughing when he was talking. And I know it's only a friendly match, but you just get a feel of this fella. And also, I played with a lad called David Memmott, who was at Millwall, who was his roommate in America when Frank was in America playing football. So I know a lot about him, but not stories I can tell on there. So
you're teasing us. Yeah, you can't tell us. But he certainly seemed to be an entertainer on the pitch and an entertainer off it, I think. A bit of a maverick, you might say.
Extraordinary. And you know, you have to be in your latter years to know how gifted he was. He was the ultimate big centre forward, that player that could just bring everybody into play, control it from anywhere, he was a Harlem Globetrotters type of footballer. That's how he played. But extraordinary character, very big loss to the game. But if you've ever been lucky enough, and I met him once, you come away, you feel enlightened a bit, and you know you've met someone of sort of great stature.
I mean, I never had that privilege to meet him, but I'm sure a lot of people on social media would have seen the article in Shoot magazine. I don't know if you've seen it, that went around on social media after the sad news emerged of his passing. But it was fantastic when he's asked questions. I'll just relay a couple of the answers that he gave, where he was asked questions about, you know, your most, I don't know, let me just say, favourite player, for example. He picks out tennis star Ilie Nastase. But he says the most difficult opponent, the taxman. I love that. I love his responses. His biggest disappointment, not getting the lead part in the television series The Incredible Hulk. I mean, he was just different in everything that he did, obviously. And some of those, as you say, he was funny and very entertaining, very witty, very quick, obviously, with his responses. And, a sad loss to the game. But you also mentioned Liverpool. That was a move that could have happened, wasn't it? A deal had been agreed.
Bill Shankly wanted him.
There's even photos of him sort of basically signing alongside Bill Shankly. But it all fell apart due to his medical and high blood pressure being the reason that was given for why he failed that medical. So his career may have taken a different path had that move had happened. But as it was. He went on to make a number of appearances, as I mentioned, for those clubs already, and also won 8 England caps. We should mention that as well.
I think Don Revie wasn't quite having the lifestyle of Frank.
Well, do you know, that was back in the day when the FA was a bit more
blazers,
stiff upper lip, weren't they?
More blazers.
Yes, indeed they were. But yes, a sad loss for football, and of course our thoughts go out to the Worthington family.